Thank you. I got my own introduction. Haha. Okay, I'm going to keep this short because you've been so kind to be with us all of today. And my real closing speech or thinking or meditation that I want to leave you with is this. And it's truly about the power of uncertainty and how maybe uncertainty is the beginning of liberation, because uncertainty offers us a curiosity as to what we actually want to do next. Oftentimes, when we speak about abolishing the monarchy, when we speak about even other aspects of society like defunding the police or rethinking prison systems, people say, but what would we do then? What would happen then? And what is so wrong with not knowing? I think it's a white supremacist heteropatriarchal construct and an indoctrination that we feel that we must know, that we must be certain before anything is done. We don't have any certainty in this life. Safety is an illusion. And we know that it's an illusion because it's sold to us in order to keep us repressed and oppressed. Maybe going towards something that's new for us doesn't necessarily feel safe, but it's possibly better than what we know now. So as a black British woman that was born in Nigeria and I came over to England at the age of 5, I know a lot about uncertainty, not knowing what my future was going to look like, but I managed to shape something that feels like a life, and essentially that is what I'd want for us all. So this conversation isn't so much about just abolishing the monarchy. To me, that is the floor, it is not the ceiling. We have to imagine beyond that. And so what I'm proposing might seem radical, but it's generative, that we choose ourselves. We are the real power. And so it is, quite frankly, an insanity that we would leave our power, we would leave our autonomy and our self-determination to archaic structures that do not have us in mind as they hoard our wealth. In 2015, Her Majesty's Treasury tweeted about abolishing the monarchy, and they just finished paying off the debt of abolishing slavery, and they finished paying off the debt of abolishing slavery. But what they failed to mention was that money was the money that they incurred for paying off the enslavers, not the enslaved. So to abolish the monarchy is to also do right by what we now know as the Commonwealth. There is nothing common about the wealth. The wealth has stayed with the royal family. It has stayed with an oppressive institution. When we think about how much we give to the royal family, I think it's ballooned to about £102 million. And then when we think about the Crown estate, it's about £16 billion in assets. So that's land, that's castles, and that's power. None of that comes to us. And I propose that if we were to take a fraction, just a fraction of that money, and we put it to something else, we could run standard universal basic income pilots across major cities in this country. We could try what it looks like to just give everybody something to start off with, and then they can build from there. If I say that to you and you go, oh, well, that means that people are going to be lazy and they're not going to work. Guess who else is lazy and not working? There are people who are sitting in palaces right now. Maybe we have earned it through years, through decades, through centuries of working and being in the coal mines and doing all of these things. Maybe we've earned the right to be lazy and not work, right? It is a travesty that we have been socialized to believe that people who are poor, it's by their own design, and we must vilify them for that, rather than looking at a system that would allow for that to happen in the first place. Why do we have a family that have palaces upon palaces, whilst we have people sleeping on the streets, and not because they want to? I would love it for John if John just saw that it was a lovely day and he said, you know what, I want to go and lie down outside. That's fine. But if John has to lie down outside because he's got nowhere else to be, because we don't have any more social housing, then that's the problem. And that's what we should be addressing. So when we talk about reparations, we're talking about reparations as we talk about abolishing the monarchy. When we bring it up, we're told that it's too complex. Let it go. We don't have to think about that. We do have to think about it. A conservative estimate says that it would cost 18 trillion to the Caribbean alone to pay reparations. But we've got to start from somewhere. We've got to divest in one way, shape, or form. How we are are made to stay in this position in society is because we're told to look at this family. Look at this family. They're like your family. They're kicking each other's heads in and they're fighting at Christmas time just like your family. And I propose to you that that's a lie. You're not looking at a family. You are looking at a fantasy that maintains that you remain in a nightmare. So it is in our best interest to start thinking about something more. So I know that for myself, as a Black British woman of Nigerian heritage, that I wasn't born to serve anybody, and neither were you. So I want to finish off today by saying that certainty hasn't gotten us very far. We certainly know that we don't have much. We certainly know that we deserve better. So I'm asking that all of us who gathered here today, that we walk into uncertainty together. Thank you so much.